What's going on, y'all? It's your main man, King Bishop, checking in. Currently at the house. Happy holiday weekend to everybody. Um, so I got some exciting numbers, man. I know everybody's been asking me about it. I did the first 30-day review of my the money I've been making here at Interstate, and now I have the first quarter, my first 90 days here at Interstate. I'm gonna give you some of my numbers, man. I want to start this off though by saying this: everybody will not get my results. Okay, if you know me, then you know I'm a grinder. Um, I work tirelessly, and at this point, I have figured out how to make money here at Interstate, which is more important than running hard. It's more important than knowing what you're doing. It's about running smart and how to be profitable. So at this point, I have figured out the way I fit into being profitable. And I want to say this: a part of being profitable is not just about the miles, because you have to think about home time. So, what I mean by learning I can be profitable is how I can be profitable mixing in with my home time. And what that means for me is I go home every other weekend. So, this is my weekend home, this holiday weekend. I will go back out this week. I will stay out this weekend, and then the following weekend I will come home, which means this week here will be a big week for me. The week following won't be as big, and because I want to go home, and that's the way I work my weeks. So, on to the goodness. And I'm sitting in the bed leaning sideways because I wanted to get you guys a video, but I didn't really feel like doing anything proper in the process. Anywho, so got my numbers right here, all written out. Um, Now, some of these numbers are approximate because I didn't want to break them all the way down, and I'll let you know what those are. But hard numbers. At this point, I have approximately $1,700 set away in my maintenance account. And what I do is I set aside 4 cents per mile on every load to go inside a maintenance account. That's automatically deducted from my settlement before I get it. It's not something I'm doing aside from Interstate. Interstate automatically takes it. It's my money. I don't have to use an Interstate shop to use it. I don't have to do anything specific. It's just Interstate has basically has the account where this money goes into. Um, so I've accumulated $1,700 in my maintenance account. I have not had to use it once, thank God. But that's the money I have sitting away from there. So total right now in Interstate, I have grossed $39,217.89. Now, mind you, I started with Interstate the last week of May, but I didn't actually start running because I was down that week until maybe the first, almost the second week of June. So we're right at 90 days, close to 90 days, not all the way there, but very close. I have a gross $39,217.89, which is not bad at all. What is that, about 13,000 a month? It's not bad at all. Out of that, I have made approximately $5,560 in truck payments. My truck payment is $695 a week. I've had about 4 weeks, approximately, where I didn't pay truck payments because quality gives you 17 days, and then I had some other issues with the old truck being in the shop, so that qualified for me to get a deferment of my payment. So, what about now? I'm paying, I think it's about that, and that's an estimate, of course, because I didn't want to break down all those numbers. It would take me forever. About $5,560 in truck payments. Um, I have spent about, that's another estimate, roughly $12,940.89 in fuel. Now, what that is not is whenever we fuel at a Pilot, Flying J, TA, Petro, Loves, we get 10% off of the cash price. So if you go to a truck stop, you see it, you roll by them, they're going to give you two prices. One is going to be the credit price, one's going to be the cash price. So you come up and it'll be gas is diesel is $2.39 a gallon. Okay, normally the cash price is about 5 cents, 5 or 6 cents less than the credit price. So if it's $2.39, the cash price is going to be about $2.33, roughly. In most places, that's what I see, between 5 or 6 cents per gallon. So you get it for $2.33, and that's because we use Calm Data. So we automatically get the cash price instead of having to pay the credit price, even though we're technically using a credit card. And then Interstate gives us an additional 10 cent off per gallon, off that price we see for the cash price. So, like I said, originally it was $2.39 a gallon. It goes down to $2.33 a gallon, and then we would get it for $2.23 a gallon. Excuse me. So that's how that works. And what they do is they credit that back to us on our statements. So that money I spent on fuel, that $12,940.89, that is not with those 10 cent per gallon discounts. And usually, I mean, think about it. If you get 50 gallons of fuel, you're only going to get $5 back. If you get $60, $70, you're only going to get $7 back. So it's not that big of a difference. It may be the better part of maybe $100, maybe $150 tops. When I first started, I did a lot of fueling at Pilots and Flying J's, just because that was my preference. I don't fuel at TAs ever. I've never fueled at a Love's ever. But I use, now that I'm learning, I don't fuel at the Pilot as much. The most I want to get at the Pilot is about maybe 50, 60 gallons at a time, just to get to a better fuel stop that's not one of the major fuel companies or truck stops to get my fuel. Like, for instance, I fuel at Hess Speedway. It's a place in South Carolina, which is my favorite, called Joker Joe's. And it's right off of exit 8 in South Carolina on 95 in Hardeesville, South Carolina. And they have BP gas. The reason why I do this, and it's also a place, man, I love in Pelzer, South Carolina, but it's on the 85 side, which I don't travel a lot. It's a 7-Eleven. Man, I get a great fuel price there. And the one thing you'll learn as you're getting to be an owner-operator is all fuel isn't good fuel. So, for instance, when I go to Pilots, I don't really like fueling at Pilots because their fuel is hit and miss. Some places you'll go to, you'll get good fuel. Some places you won't. And what do you mean by good fuel? The fuel mileage. When I fuel up at Joker Joe's in South Carolina, I can get, out of a full tank, I will get about 1,300 miles. And I'm running dual 100 gallon tanks. I'll get about 1,300 miles out of the tank. When I fuel up at Pilots most time, I might get 1,000 miles. So you got to realize that even if, say for instance, the Pilot price is $2.23 a gallon, I may pay $2.25 at Joker Joe's, but that 2 cents a gallon doesn't mean anything at the end of the day when I can get 300 more miles out of a tank. So it's balancing the fuel pricing with the quality of the fuel, and that's how you're going to get your fuel mileage. Right now, thank God, I'm actually averaging between 7.3 and 7.4 miles per gallon, which is awesome. And that's loaded and empty because I do a lot of both. It would be hard for me to separate them both to see which I do loaded, which I do empty, because I run empty so much in between running loaded that I just can't estimate it. So this is on all my miles together. I'm averaging about between 7.3 and 7.4.5. So I'm getting really, really good fuel mileage out of my truck. So, next, on my list, my total mileage, okay? Right now, since I've been with Interstate, I have ran, let's make sure I'm giving you the right number, I've ran 26,277 miles. So, in my 3 months, give or take a couple weeks here with the old truck, you guys know about that, I've ran about 26,277 miles. Now, that's paid miles. That's not actual ran miles, because here at Interstate, they use Rand McNally's system, zip code to zip code. Sometimes you get lucky, and it's less mileage than what they pay you for. Sometimes you don't, and it's more mileage. Over here, you normally won't get any more than maybe a 10 or 15 mile difference either way, so it's not that big of a deal. If it's anything more than that, I will say something, and they will pay me for the difference if they can see it. But most times it's really close. So, actually, my paid mileage, I've ran 26,277 miles paid, which break down, divided by 3 is what? at 8,000, a little bit more than 8,000, maybe like 8,700 miles a month, which is not it's not the best, but it's not bad either. I've had some slow weeks, especially when I first started. Well, I may have only had 900 miles. I had a couple weeks when I only had 700 miles, and that was because of the truck issues I was having being in the shop. So if you take away those weeks where I was in the shop because of that old raggedy truck I had that had those electrical issues, then I probably would be averaging somewhere around 10,000 miles a month, which is where I want to be at. Around between 25 and 2,800 miles a week is where I want to be at. So, just to recap, I have grossed $39,217.89 right now, and that is facts. That is hard numbers. I've spent approximately $1,944 in insurance, and that's with my bobtail insurance, that's my supplemental insurance, that's my Qualcomm fee, which is only $10 a week. I've spent approximately $5,560 in truck payments. I spent approximately $12,940.89 in fuel. I have ran approximately 26,277 paid miles. And I have about $1,700 in my maintenance account. And what that breaks down is my net, what I have bought home, the money number. What I have bought home since I've been in Interstate is $18,173.01. That's a hard number. And that's give or take. I want to say I had maybe 2 referral bonuses, so not that much, but $18,173 in my first 3 months. That breaks down to me making about $1,514.42 per week. And that's after everything: truck payment, fuel, maintenance. I put away some money also, which I didn't talk about, but I put away money as well for my IFTA. That's what I'm bringing home average. So what I told you guys in the other video where I talked about what money, realistic expectations, I'm falling right in between those realistic expectations for a lease purchase driver. As always, guys, I appreciate you for watching. Please keep doing it, because you guys are doing a wonderful job with it. Keep commenting, liking, subscribing. Share some of the videos, man. Let's get this out here. Give people quality information. Remember, like I tell you guys, my results are not typical results. They're not average results. I can only speak for me because I've run my behind off. But I appreciate you guys watching. As always, God bless y'all. Be easy. Peace.